And we are live. Welcome to the PT Graduates Podcast. And my guest, Debbie Wastney, thank you so much for your time, Debbie. Great to see you again.
Cool.
Thanks for joining me. It's I know we caught up a while back after you won a mentoring session at FITEX. Was that right?
Yeah, that was it.
Cool. You must, there was a lot of form filling. I think you did a really good job of making sure you ticked all the boxes, crossed the T's, dotted the I's.
I had to get selfies with some of the
That's
presenters
it.
and I did all sorts of crazy things. Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's how we kind of crossed paths, and then we've stayed in touch on social media, and then I wanted to get you on just because I think you've got a really good story to tell in terms of your journey, changing careers, what that process is like, and what you're doing in sunny Nelson. Is that right? You're in Nelson?
That's right, and it's very sunny. So there's definitely sunny Nelson today. Wasn't last week, but it is today.
You certainly got a lot more than we have in Auckland at the moment. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty dismal at the moment. So now you were originally a teacher, is that right?
That's right. Yeah. Primary teacher for 21 years.
And in Auckland as well, is that right?
Yeah, I was in Auckland for about 5 years.
Okay.
And then I just decided I was just starting to get quite burnt out from teaching. Teaching's not quite what it used to be, and it's just so involved. I just wasn't getting I wasn't getting that work-life balance.
Okay.
So I sort of changed from teaching, and I thought, what else could I do? And I've been a competitive runner. I've always been interested in health and fitness, and thought, I've always thought maybe I could use my teaching in a more of a coaching sort of a setting. And so I looked up online for a good online course, and I initially went through the Fit Futures Academy, which I also highly recommend. They were awesome to deal with. But one of the parameters of being in their course was that I had to find a gym that I could do 40 hours of work experience in.
Okay.
So naturally, that was the first thing I wanted to do, was get affiliated with the gym when I got down here, and sort of try and find another gym coach that I could sort of maybe work alongside, so I could get in there and learn the good stuff. So that's when I sort of fell in the door of City Fitness in Nelson. A huge big shout out to them, because I think they're a great franchise, and I just sort of found my way at home there. I sort of met up with a really amazing master trainer. I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning her, Jules Kelly. Been in the industry for probably more than 20 years. She's a very successful trainer. So she took me under her wing. She said, all right, well, I'll look after you. So I ended up doing way more than 40 hours, because we just sort of hit it off, and we fed off each other's energy, and she really kindly let me in on her PT session. So I got to meet a lot of her clients. I got to watch her work with them and ask questions at the same time. And then she sort of gave me lots of time to discuss stuff between clients. She was amazing. And then I got approached by the manager to say, actually, do you want to come and work on reception? It's a good chance for you to sort of see the gym from the ground up. You're dealing with customers, you're sort of going right from the bottom, cleaning the equipment, doing all that stuff. And if you do that, you could, join in with our apprenticeship program and get $500 off your course fee. So I sort of thought, there's a bit of a bonus. Before I knew it, I discovered I was doing 2 qualifications, working on reception, and starting a business all in one. So it was a pretty full-on year through my 2 qualifications, but just learned so much. Part of the NASM course, you go on an academy down to Christchurch for a week, which was awesome. So you're down there with other PTs that are all starting out, and that was pretty cool. So I sort of spent the year working in and out in the gym, and learning it from the ground up. And I just sort of felt like I was spending 100 hours a week there. And with the PT program, when they get new gym members, we service them by giving them a 1 hour free consultation. And then hopefully they connect with you and they want to sign up with you as their trainer. So you sort of use the gym, you're sort of getting there, sending the clients to you. Hopefully they sign up. Otherwise, you're sort of doing a lot of work for free. And of course, then that was the gym overheads. You've got to pay the gym to be there. And you're getting great resources and great team of people, and it was amazing. But in the real world, for me, when I was we were sort of getting a house built, and you've got rent to pay and all the overhead costs and things that you have outside of your business. I felt like I was not making quite what I needed to.
Sure.
So that was a bit more of a stress. I was thinking, there's got to be an easier way than this. And so I always dreamed, right, I'm going to start my own gym studio. I started sort of taking clients, training them at the park, which I was allowed to do. I wasn't taking clients away from the gym. Got to be really careful with that. But of course, when the weather came in and it was really crappy and yucky and cold, damn it, I've got to go and pay the gym to use the gym, and plus, so it just wasn't really working out. So then of course we moved into our place, our new house here, and I sort of got the studio put in downstairs with just some real basic equipment, your kettlebells, your standard kind of equipment. And that's when I was at the park training some clients, and that's when the call came through about the lockdown. So I did quickly finish my session with them. Then, of course, lockdown was happening in the next 24 hours. I literally remember packing up my car from the session, and I think I sat there and bawled my eyes out for about half an hour, thinking,
Crikey.
what have I got myself into? Completely stuffed now. Lockdown happened, and I had just literally got my studio ready for people to start coming. So I was pretty gutted. Well, this was the end, and thought, what have I done? I'm going to give up. But my partner actually said to me, well, can you go online? And I said, about how to do all that stuff, and I don't like the camera, and how do you work with that? And anyway, so I got brave during lockdown, and I decided to do some free online sessions. So I did a whole month of free online sessions. So I sort of met people down at the gym each day, and we sort of worked through, just real basic kind of, one day it might have been core. We had Torso Tuesday, which was core, Motivation Monday, which was stretching, and then I sort of debated between upper and lower body kind of work. And then I finished off the week with a cardio, and I had lots of people join on, and it was really cool fun. And I think I was trying to get my phone so I could film. I actually didn't have like a decent, I don't even own a laptop, because you do everything on your phone these days. So my partner was like building me these things out of wood that I could just stick my phone onto, and I could have different, so I could, sometimes if you're down on the floor, you need to tilt the camera, right?
Of course.
Fancy, and sometimes the camera fell off the table, and just a flipping nightmare for the first while, until I finally sent away and bought myself a little tripod, and that sort of made things a bit easier. It's just the small things that make life a little easier. And then I realized, actually, I wonder if my clients want to train with me online. So I had a few clients that said, we'll give it a go. I don't know what it's going to be like, but we'll give it a bash. And so then I just started training my clients in their own lounges at home, and we just made up equipment with, baked bean tins and fry pans and goodness knows what else we could find. And so that sort of got my confidence going. So that was a huge learning curve through lockdown, really. And then then of course we're out of lockdown, and we've been lucky enough to move in, and I've got my studio all up and going. So I've got pretty busy Monday to Thursday.
Cool.
And Fridays I just teach one day a week at a school. Sort of just keeping my toe dipped in there, because I do enjoy teaching. So now I've got a whole range of clients. I've got a client ranging from 13 years old right through to I think 85 is my oldest client.
Wow, great stuff.
So on a Wednesday or Tuesday I do a pool fit session out at a rest home. Ability work in a heated swimming pool, which they love. And then on a Wednesday, I have 3 older clients at a rest home. Plus, I'm starting to do some mobility group sessions as well.
Okay.
So keeping pretty busy.
I was going to say, it sounds like you've got a lot on.
Lots on. No,
That's
it's always
good.
off. So I sort of stepped out from the gym just after lockdown. I sort of finally got the guts to go, you know what, I'm actually gonna cut the kitchen ties, and I'm gonna go out on my own. Which was a really scary thing to do, because I thought, oh God, but what if I don't know what I'm doing, and what if I haven't learned enough, and what if, you know, kind of things. So I've been out on my own. So I'm now Inspiraction, Fitness and Wellbeing.
I like that name. Very cool.
So it's just inspiring people to take action. So that's kind of where it sort of came from.
I like it.
And I've sort of got my own little uniform now. So when I'm out in public and I'm out, you know, working in rest homes, you know, people can see who I am and know what I'm about. And that's been quite cool. And since I've kind of left the gym, I've got a Facebook page.
Good,
so you can find on Facebook at Inspiraction, Fitness and Wellbeing. And sort of taken off, and I haven't had to do a lot of advertising. A lot of it's been word of mouth. I get random messages from people just that found me on Facebook and inquiring about training and pricing and those sorts of things. And I've just recently I've had a couple of people saying, oh, you know, it's you know, my budget's getting a bit low. I'm wondering if there's anyone else that I can jump in and train with. And I'm like, that's a pretty cool idea. So I had a group of, I've got a few group training sessions now. So I had one couple that I was training, and then another 2 individuals, they teamed up, and now we've got 2 have become 4. So I've got my Wonder Woman, we call them the Wonder Woman group, coming at 4 o'clock today.
Excellent. Yeah, good.
A lot of banter and a lot of laughs, and just women getting together and, you know, doing what they've all got slightly different goals, but so I'm able to sort of, you know, obviously increase intensities for some and lessen it for others, and match. We've got some slightly different injuries and things to be aware of. So it just keeps it interesting and keeps
definitely
me on my toes. And as all trainers know, nothing's done without, you know, careful working alongside a physio. I think that's some big advice I'd give for any PTs out there. If you're working with a client that's come with a shoulder injury and they're working with the physio, get in touch, reach out, have a conversation with the physio. And I was told that, oh, you know, physios don't normally think very highly of trainers, and there's a mismatch there. But I've honestly had no issues, and I think that they've been really open and appreciative, actually, of being able to be consulted. And you certainly don't want to undo any work that someone else is doing, or
no, you can be complimentary though, can't you? And I think you're right. Having that conversation is really important, because then really they get a measure of you as a person. They can see you're not a cowboy, and you can build that relationship, so you know where one starts and the other finishes, and it can become a really useful referral network, can't it?
Definitely. And so a lot of those physios have taken my business card as well, so that if they have a client that they know is not going to be the person that's going to go home and do those TheraBand exercises that they're given, they can always refer them to me, and I can sort of put them on a program and help them with the rehab. So I've had lots of success with that. Lots of happy clients who have successfully rehabbed, and knowing, and for them it's also that comfort of knowing that they're in a safe environment, that one, you're not a cowboy, and 2, you do care that you're not gonna not trying to ramp things up to the intensity that they're gonna re-injure, or it's all about strengthening and preventing the stuff from happening. So
absolutely. Good. That's amazing. You've rattled off a huge you've given us the full story. It's fantastic, and I quite like how you've kept a foot in the teaching door. I guess, is there does that help give you the balance that you were lacking, that you talked about at the beginning? You know, you've got that you're in control of more of your week.
It is. And that's the cool thing, when you're your own business owner, you can work when you want. You can swipe out in the afternoon and go and have a massage if you want, or you know, there is that factor of, if you don't work, you don't get paid. There's all of those sort of things that, you know, I've had to sort of work through But I think when you've got your pricing right, and when you've got, I do concession cards as well, which I've found really, really helpful.
Okay.
It sort of keeps clients really committed. And you sort of getting paid, you're not necessarily relying on that payment every week,
Yeah.
That's been really helpful. And for me, I mean, I could fill up my weekends with clients if I wanted to. I've had to turn a lot of people away because they're, do you do Saturdays? Do you do Saturdays? I can only do Saturdays or Sundays. And I kind of get a little bit itchy, and I think, I could just take that one.
You could, yeah.
But I think you've got to learn just to draw a line, and I think it's actually okay to say no to people as well. And I've never been very good at saying no. So I've learned to go, right, Monday to Thursday.
Right.
I'm not working late into the evenings. I have some pretty cold early starts.
Yep.
But I can be finished by 5 or finished by 4 some days. But I have a couple of evenings slots open if people do want them.
Right. Yeah.
Occasionally, as you know, the schedule sometimes changes, and especially if
it changes every week, doesn't it?
You have to be a bit adaptable, and
definitely
you can't make that regular Tuesday 1 o'clock time. It's sometimes it changes. So it's nice to have that flexibility. And I think having that balance, because it is tiring being a trainer as well, although you're not necessarily doing in every session with everyone, but you're often doing a lot of modeling, and you've got to have that high energy all the time as well. And I think it's a lot of talking and communication, and you get mentally quite drained. So I think it's good to try and have a cutoff.
I think that's very sensible.
Yeah.
As you say, with some flexibility built in, but you've got to still be in control, I guess. And it's a matter of kind of, it's the same as shops, when shops are open and closed, right? We stop going to the shop when the shop's closed, and we work out a way in which we can get there when it's open. And
exactly.
It's the same with, same with our services. If you aren't closed, if you aren't open on a Friday, you aren't open on a Friday. That's just the reality.
Exactly.
It's important to have those boundaries, and it's easy, like you say, to go, go on then, I'll do a Saturday, go on then, I'll do it, and suddenly it creeps across your week, and suddenly you feel like you're not in control, which is the whole the whole thing is to be in business and to be your own boss.
When I was working on reception, if I was on opening, I'd be starting at 5:30 in the morning, and I would finish my shift at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd have my designated 3 or 4 hours that I had to sort of be at the gym, which sort of involved cleaning, and then if you're waiting between clients, you're trying to do a bit more study at the same time. So I was still doing 2 qualifications. Sometimes might have one client booked in at 1 o'clock, one at 4 o'clock, and maybe one at 6:30 in the evening. So instead of going all the way back home and then going back to the gym, like you're there for a really long period of time. Which could get quite tiring. So it's just, now I've kind of streamlined things, and I mean, it's always hard at the start, and you've got to be prepared to do those long hours as well.
Yards.
I was sort of taking anything I could get. I had some people that wanted me to train them at home because they didn't like gyms. Not gyms, as we know, aren't for everyone. So I'll go to their house, but I might have already been into town twice that day, and then I had to go back in again later in the day. So when you're factoring in all your time for travel, packing the car with all your gear, unpacking it, getting it set up at the person's house, programming, all of that adds up. And I felt like I'm just running around like a chick with my head chopped off and not making any money. And this is just, I love doing this, but it's just not really sustainable.
No, you've got to factor in all of that stuff that you just rattled off there, because that is the cost of our. Absolutely. And it's important to stop and sit down and get all that documented, isn't it? Because if you don't factor that in and you're charging at a rate which then you work out that you're not making any money, then it's like you say, it's unsustainable. And you kind of lose the motivation. So to sit down and go through that process and go, actually, I need to be charging here because this goes to the tax man. This is downtime. This is holiday, sick, blah, blah, blah. Equipment, you realize suddenly what you're taking is not what you're pocketing. There's there's a gap there.
Feel bad about, then you think, oh, wanting to I need to increase my prices to cover all of that. But then when you present those bigger prices to clients, you kind of see their faces kind of go, oh. You know, for me, I'm wanting to make it affordable for people, because you want people moving and you want people healthy and exercising. That's my main goal. But at the same time, you do need to cover your costs and just be confident in what you're worth as well. You know, it's taken me ages to do the whole, can I be charging more than 45 an hour? Seems like a lot of money.
Yes is the answer.
And the answer is yes. And it's actually about, I think for me and a lot of trainers, there's that little bit of a hesitance of, you know, I know that I'm worth that, but how do I convey that to a client? You've got to really make sure that you're kind of organized, you're upbeat, you're listening to them, you're focusing on their goals, having fun. There's all of those things that you've got to factor in. And so it's definitely stepped it up. But also there's that thing that people say, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. When you up your prices, people sort of have a bit of a new respect and like, oh wow, you know, okay, this is going to be good.
Definitely.
They realize actually it is good. It's worth it. They don't blink at it. You know, not everyone can afford a personal trainer. It's a bit of a luxury for a lot of people.
True.
So it's about finding a balance, but it's got to work for your trainer. Otherwise, I mean, you've got to pay rent or mortgage or power bill and all the running costs. So
you're right. And I think also when you do get that price point up to a higher rate, you know, it makes it more sustainable. It makes you feel comfortable. It brings the stress levels down, and from a sustainability point of view, you can reinvest, right? So you can do that extra education, you can do the courses, you can learn more, you can grow yourself, which then sort of it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and therefore you can keep charging that higher amount because you are investing, and that can be delivered. The what you deliver then changes over time.
And clients really appreciate when they see that you're doing your personal development. You know, we've got to get our CPD points for our registrations and things like that. So, you know, when you say, oh, look, I can't do this day because I'm going to be off at this course, I'm going to be learning about all this and this and this, and then you come back to the studio the next day and you're like, right, I've learned this, I'm going to try this with you. And they sort of feed off that. They appreciate it. And it's great to be able to sort of, I get really excited when I learn new stuff, you know. So I've actually been following a guy called, oh gosh, what's his name? He's a precision movement coach, Eric. Is it Eric Wong?
Helms.
No, Eric. I think it's Eric Wong. He's a precision movement coach. Have him online. Yeah, I find him really, really interesting, and just, you know, glute activations and rehabbing with shoulder injuries, just looking at different stretching techniques. I found him quite useful. So it's just tapping in, not necessarily look at YouTubing at things and finding the first thing you come across, but just through word of mouth, hearing bits and pieces to follow, or really handy. And of course, we've got FITEX coming up in Auckland in November, I think.
November, that's right. Here
again, and there's something else coming up in Nelson soon too. So
cool.
Still, you know, you don't have to be in the gym to hear about all of those kinds of things. You know, you can still keep track of, you know, if you're with the reps on the reps site and stuff, you find out all the upcoming things, so you can sort of make sure you're keeping your CPD points up and that.
That's right.
I recently did actually wasn't recently, I think it was in August last year, I did the Shane Cameron counterpunch course. So any trainers out there that are keen to get accredited for level 1 boxing training, highly recommend. He's awesome to work with, and I just had a blast. So I've been able to factor boxing in with my clients, and they just love it.
Yeah, it's another extra string to your bow, isn't it? It's good.
Definitely.
Cool. All right. Do you want to give us a spin? Is that okay? Give us a quick, even if you just do a 360 of the studio.
Okay.
Not going to help the listeners. It's going to help the YouTubers.
No, definitely. So I was lucky enough to have a big garage downstairs at our new place.
Right.
there was a room that was going to be designated as a studio. But I accidentally, as you do when you're a trainer and you can't have too many toys,
oh, nice. Yeah,
you have to kind of move into the garage and take over the garage as well.
Sure, of course.
So I don't know, that's my little
Nice
work.
space, yeah. Admin, yeah. Desk at the end,
Nice,
and then you've got
beautiful
glass.
sunny
Oh,
day
look at
out
that.
there.
Yeah.
So this is kind of my cardio room. So
Yep.
I've got a few bits of equipment. I'm actually just about to upgrade my cross trainer to a commercial one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And the old rowing machine's gonna get a new one. I'm actually getting a proper one with that's also rigged up as a ski erg as well.
Ooh,
so
nice.
a bit of a
Concept.
2-in-1. And I'm going to upgrade my treadmill as well. That's
Excellent.
all a work in progress.
Yeah, good. And here's the garage with the mats.
There's no cars in this garage, I tell you.
Nice. You got plenty of space. Certificates on the wall.
Oh, can you still hear me?
All right. Yeah, you dropped out. You're back again. Good.
We've got, I think it might be the garage door. I don't get reception.
You're good.
So
okay,
yeah,
no worries.
I have all my programs written up on a whiteboard.
Yep.
My clients, I've got
Ah.
my brother actually is a really clever welder, so he actually welded that boxing bag rig.
Yeah.
TRX.
Nice.
I just purchased a classic Bowflex machine that I picked up marketplace and got it all spray painted, and that's a really cool machine to use.
Yeah, it does everything.
So I've just been getting lots of new toys. My latest toys are my new dumbbell rack.
Nice. Yeah, good.
It's just been put in.
Great stuff.
So yeah, that's I've got a nice sort of outdoor quad area as well.
Yeah.
So and stuff we've got, get out there with the cones and do drills.
Yes, they can run up and down the concrete. Lovely.
Yeah, so awesome. Plenty of space to play.
Yeah, good space, and lots of glass in there, so you've got lots of light coming in, which is what you want, and ventilation.
It's pretty good. I feel pretty lucky, but it's taken a long time to get it all up and going, and I'm one of those people that wants it like yesterday.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Good things take time, and you don't have to have a lot of equipment, to obviously train clients. There's lots of body weight stuff, and you can do so much with kettlebells and some hand weights.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I just like having, because I've got such a huge range of abilities with my clients. I just like having a choice of loads more different things that I can use, and just to keep it interesting as well. So we're not just using equipment all the time. I kind of mix it up to make it fun, and
it's good.
That's
good.
Kind of how. Oh yeah.
Excellent. I love it. Good. Okay, so one of the last couple of things, but I know you've got to go. You've got clients on their way. Top tips. So any top tips in terms of, obviously you're, from your point of view, it's that transition and sort of making it, and you've covered a lot of it already, but any top tips or questions I haven't asked that you think are worth sharing before we sign off?
I think my biggest top tip is, knowing your worth and got that pricing sorted, and just sort of, I think you've sort of got to be a bit confident in putting yourself out there. And I'm certainly not saying don't go and work in gyms, because I think gyms are great environments and there's a real place for that. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to encourage everyone to leave gyms and start their own studios. That's not what I'm trying to say. That was just what worked for me. And I just think if you can sort of start out with getting a really good positive network with other trainers, if you can, whether it's in the gym, whether it's I don't know, through if you're at a FITEX or something, and you touch base with other trainers there, take each other's business cards, keep in touch, follow each other on social media, whatever it is. Because you get lots of cool ideas from other people as well. Like when you're your own entity and you're in your own bubble, it's easy to sort of get stuck in your own sort of system and your own way of doing things. And I think it's quite enlightening to be able to hear what other trainers are doing. So I'm hoping that things I'm saying is helping someone else.
I'm sure.
Help me along the way, and that's sort of my biggest tips, really.
Cool. Brilliant. I like it. Thank you.
finding the balance. Always make sure you find the balance, because, you know, I've heard that, you know, some personal
Yes.
trainers burn out as well.
Yeah.
I think if you do too much of it, or the stress of it, if you're not making enough money and you're trying to struggle to make ends meet, you know, that can be a real stressor. So yeah, having someone to talk to about it, and yeah, having a good support person around is good.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah. Good stuff. Oh, well, I'll let you go because I know that you've got a client right around the corner. So thank you for your time. Really great to catch up, and all the best. Yeah, cool. All the best for the future. We'll try a version 2 in another few years.
Awesome. Yeah, see where I'm at then.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Debbie.
All right.
See you. Bye.